Big changes in store for the second half of the week. The storms won't be as numerous, but the heat is going to have its way. In fact, as we look up to the north, this dome of heat will slide in from the west, and temperatures will be some 15 to 20 degrees above average. That's for the Great Lakes and the Northeast. However, for us, we're going to still get in on some really impressive numbers in terms of the heat indices. It's all aided and abetted by the high dew points, which are going to stay stagnant. You can see here we're going to be in the humid categories. 65 to 75 degree dew points means the air is going to be very sultry over the next few days, and that trend will continue right on through the weekend. Out west, you got a sampling of those higher heat indices today. 94, the high heat index there in Rome. Go down to LaGrange, 92 before the storms moved in. You may be begging for some storms as you get deeper into the week, because that will be the only thing to calm us down and cool us down. 101 there in Montgomery, but look at these heat indices running amok out east or out west. 102 St. Louis, 102 also for Little Rock, 100 the feels like a number there in Dallas, 104 leads the way in the nation in Houston. By tomorrow we'll feel like 90 degrees, 92 in Eaton, 92 once again for Thursday, but that's inside the perimeter there. Look out west, Rome 96 degrees it feels like temperature. I think Thursday's the worst of all days, but Friday is going to definitely try to give it a run for its money, feeling like 98 degrees there in Eaton. That's Friday. Saturday the heat continues on, but there will be a softening of the numbers as we get into the week to come. In fact, the forecasts are hinting at temperatures maybe by this time next week struggling to get into the 80s. So we're up and down and back and forth all around.
Keeps you in business, Jonathan. All right, my friend, thanks. The World Cup kickoff match just 2 days away now, and a group of kids at the Boys and Girls Club in Long Beach, California, got the surprise of a lifetime. They were given free tickets to a World Cup match. The 20 youngsters are part of the soccer program at the Long Beach Boys and Girls Club. Los Angeles-based California Resources Corporation provided the tickets for those lucky students.
I had no idea. No idea.
No idea. I thought we were just coming in to play a little bit of soccer.
And when you heard?
I was so amazed. I was like, this is going to be such a fun opportunity.
Kids were selected because they're outstanding kids, so doing great, amazing grades, so academically they're doing great, but they're also very involved in the community. They're a good example, they lead by example, they showcase a passion for others. So we wanted to really highlight those kids that are doing all the great things, and we're proud of them.
What a thrill. The free tickets will allow the young players to attend the Iran versus New Zealand match at Los Angeles Stadium next Monday. Well, the Falcons say they're excited to have their top pass catcher locked down. He talks about signing his new deal coming up in sports.
And tonight on The Pulse, Jennifer Lopez gives a hot take about New York City. She says you have to be born in New York to be a New Yorker. Do you have to be born somewhere to consider yourself from that city? You can join the conversation now. Scan the QR code on your screen. We'll share your comments on The Pulse, which starts in a few minutes at 7 o'clock.
Well, when you've been deprived of something for 18 years and you finally accomplished that goal, the feeling is unlike any other. This is the feeling the Georgia baseball team has right now as they look forward to their first appearance in the College World Series since 2008. Now, this is a team that led the country in home runs, had one of the most exciting super regional games in history, and a team that sets so many records that now get the chance to bring a national championship to Athens. Our Lexi Bowden spent some time with the Dogs today and has more on a team that is eager to make the trek to Omaha.
This isn't a vacation, it's a business trip.
Georgia baseball is gearing up to make its first College World Series run since 2008 and just 7th appearance ever in program history. Only one of those trips ending in a national title. Third-year head coach Wes Johnson is trying to keep his team's eyes on the prize.
I don't want people in that room, those players. I said, I don't want you sitting on the couch, 20 years from now, looking at your kids and telling them, yeah, we were in Omaha, and man, if we could stay focused, we might have made a run at this. Doesn't mean that you're going to not lose, win, or whatever, but we're going to go in there and be focused. I don't want these young men living with regret 20 years from now.
Dogs punched their ticket after a handful of wild back-and-forth games against Mississippi State in the Super Regional.
Launched to left.
left.
Something they feel like made them a better team.
Yeah, it's crazy. Somebody said something like, I feel like we got a lot better this weekend, and a lot of times you don't get better like late in the season like that. It takes a full season to get better, and you just keep getting better day by day. And so this time, I feel like we got better, you know, in these 2 games, and we found out a lot about ourselves, and we keep growing and producing.
Yeah, I think this whole season, I mean, we've been put through some tough things, and we've had some really hard games, and I think this weekend it's solidified that we can not give up, and we can fight through the tough things.
And they believe they can be the last team standing in Omaha.
We've had a really good 2 past years, and I think that the guys that have came through this program, we're doing it for them.
Yeah, a ton of belief. You know, the whole year we've taken it one game at a time, just pitch by pitch by pitch. And so it's just another step. You know, you win at regional, you say, let's go to super regional, see what happens. You go and win that game by game. Same thing in Omaha. You go win game by game.
The first game against Texas is this Saturday in primetime at 8 p.m. At Foley Field, Lexi Bowden, Fox 5 Sports.
Thanks, Lexi. Should be a fun time. Now, the reigning FIFA World Cup champions are bringing global soccer to one of the most iconic stadiums in college football. As you can see, the rain was coming down here at Jordan-Hare Stadium on the campus of Auburn University, where they're battling the rain. Like I said, similar to us here. This will be the first international soccer match played there in its 87-year history, with the stadium being transformed, removing the football goalposts and reconfiguring the playing surface into a wider, pristine soccer pitch. The match between Argentina and Iceland will take place at 8:30 p.m. And our Victor Prieto is in Auburn, Alabama for the match, and talking about a really important person. Has more.
I'm here outside Jordan-Hare Stadium, where Lionel Messi and Argentina are set to play Iceland at Auburn Stadium. Probably a sentence you never thought you'd ever hear. Lionel Messi in Auburn, Alabama. Well, it's happening tonight. Obviously, you can see it's a bit rainy situation, but it's not keeping the people away from coming and being able to see who many consider the greatest soccer player of all time. The former World Cup champions, Argentina. They're the champions of the world so far, looking to defend their crown and get the trophy once again in just a week, where the World Cup starts this week. Argentina will play next week and start their World Cup against Algeria on Tuesday, but their final friendly, a game that doesn't matter, against Iceland, a team not in the World Cup, but here in Auburn, a rainy day, 9 p.m. kick. Hopefully we'll have coverage later on from here in Auburn to see the former champions, and they starting their pursuit of defending their World Cup champion here at Auburn, Alabama. Victor Prieto, Fox 5 Sports.
All right, thanks, VP. Yesterday, the Falcons and wide receiver Drake London made good on his new 4-year contract extension by putting pen to paper. Drake has been one of the top players in the NFL since coming into the league in 2022, hence why he was paid as one, with his deal being the 3rd highest for a receiver heading into this season. Now, Drake is the clear #1 pass catcher on this team and will be asked to continue his high level of play for whoever is at QB. London spoke earlier on the pressure this kind of deal may or may not put on him.
There's going to be a wait, and then 2, the numbers are public. I mean, everybody can see what you're making, and everybody has an opinion about that stuff. So obviously there's a natural wait, but that's just what comes with this sport. And honestly, I'm blessed to have that weight on my back right now. So just again, going back to, I got to level up in every single way in every category. So that's my goal right now.
All right, the Falcons begin minicamp. Got that good money. Yes, he did. Well worth it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But they start minicamp next week, which is, kind of getting a little bit closer to what we get in training camp here in a couple more months. Mandatory minicamp.
Mm-hmm.
Braves also got a new 3-game series starting tonight with Chicago White Sox. They won 5 out of 6, so hopefully they keep that going. And then the Atlanta Dream in action. They about to play here in a couple of minutes. They're going back to Chicago Sky. That's where Angel Reese played her last game. So we'll see what happens in that. They already played them in preseason, but this one means a little bit more. So we'll see.
You excited about this World Cup?
I am. It's a lot of things to look forward to.
We've been talking about it forever. I'm ready for it to start, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for being here tonight at 6. The Pulse is coming up next. We'll see you at 10.
Elvis. I'm Christine Spear.
Hey, everybody. I'm Tom Haynes, joined by Ariel Onstadt, an actress, writer, and comedian Coco Brown. Hey. Coco, welcome back.
Thank you guys so much for having me
Good
back.
to have you back.
Yes.
You guys know every night at 7 o'clock we go beyond the headlines, take a look at some of the stories that have you talking. Tonight, the internet's divided over Jennifer Lopez's hot take about New Yorkers.
New Yorkers. All right.
Say it like that? We're going to talk about that coming up. Trusting people can be hard, but who would you trust with your social media account? And a breakfast brand facing accusations of toxic masculinity over its cereal.
Are you serious?
That's pretty basic.